Good morning. So I was a little conflicted about this topic during class, especially thinking about this article, The Nine Powerful, that everyone was completely bashing. I agree the language was, in a deficit mentality maybe at times, but, she is saying things that kind of resonate with me a little bit, but maybe I'm among the minority. It sounded like everyone else hated this, so... but, so I totally agree that impoverished people are not in a deficit of culture, but their culture is not, it's different, as a generalization. From my experience, it's different than the productive culture. And, we can change our methods, our schools to meet that different culture and teach students on their level within that culture, but are we doing them a disservice? Because once they get into the job market, the productive culture is the culture of power, is the white culture, and for the most part. And, I don't know, I struggle with just people who come from lower rungs in society, the ones that and again I'm making generalizations, but the ones that I have seen excel, impoverished people who excel, are the ones who have adopted the, in quotations, white culture. And that's a pretty big generalization, but, there's two ways that I can see this as a bigger picture. So we can change the entire culture of the United States to accept this impoverished, this culture of the minority culture, which encompasses all people of a lower socioeconomic status, or and I don't know if that works, honestly. Like if you're reinforcing that behavior, that way of acting, and I'm just gonna, from what I've experienced, people aren't that deep. They judge you on the way you act, and I'm almost thinking, you're doing them a disservice. You're telling them that they can be that way and still excel. Whereas, in my experience, I grew up a little rough around the edges, and I had to change because it's just the way the world is, You can't be rough around the edges and still get ahead in the popular culture, So there's two ways of looking at it. I think you can change the entire culture of the United States to accept that lower, or not lower, but lower socioeconomic culture. Or you can change that culture, the impoverished culture, to be more, in line with the productive culture, the powerful culture. And I don't know, I guess that's a little vain to say maybe, but that's just the way I see it, and it's I don't know, I talked with a kid about this last night actually, and she feels the same way, but I mean, it's sad, it's kind of ridiculous that that's the way it is, but people are, from my experience, people judge you on very basic things, and it's just kind of under the surface. It's an unconscious thing. Like I've always been hired by women, and it's people like you. They don't necessarily, they're getting a general feel of you. And I'm going through this job looking for a job process, and what I've noticed is it's not so much as about what you say, it's about how you say it and how you act and how people perceive you. And, it's kind of interesting that people are very, they go off instincts more so than you would think. But, what else did I want to say? So... I guess that was all I really wanted to say, and we're at about 5 minutes, so I'll just leave it at that.